Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Israel Brief, bringing you your top stories from Israel like we do every Monday to Thursday right here. And we are brought to you by Lay of the Land and told to you by myself, Rolene Mark. So let's get into those top stories, and we begin by saying back to school is cool. Well, at least for many relieved parents all over the country, and I'm sure a lot of excited students, as 2.5 million Israeli students headed back to school for the first day of the new school year today. And just from where I live, I'm surrounded by 3 schools, and there was a lot of fanfare. There was music, there was even a shofar, and I'm sure ecstatic parents who have now deposited their children safe into the care of various schools around the country, and hopefully off Zoom and various other mechanisms, freeing them to get back to work. But we know that the situation is a lot more complicated at the moment, and students were sent back to school, all of them armed with do-it-yourself corona test kits as well as masks. And officials have acknowledged that we are in the middle of a surge in infections, albeit the rate of serious cases does seem to have stabilized, and that we are expecting that there could be another surge in the amount of infections again. But the Education Ministry is trying to do everything they can to accommodate all the challenges, including outdoor classes and a variety of different mechanisms. Meanwhile, from all of us here at Lay of the Land, we wish students and teachers Bahatzlacha, everything of the best for the new school year. And we know that sitting amongst you could be our next Prime Minister, or our next Ramatkal, or Olympic athletes, or somebody who is going to do something extraordinary. In other news, for the 4th night in a row, there were riots along the border with the Gaza Strip. Now, these riots are organized by units calling themselves night confusion units. And while they haven't gotten too violent, they have been responsible for setting fire to tires and throwing explosives. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, at least one Palestinian was treated for mild injuries, and Israeli troops and border guards stationed along the border have kept using standard riot control mechanisms. But they have not got too out of hand, although these night confusion units are aligned to various terror groups such as Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and they have threatened to continue these riots at least till Thursday this week. Meanwhile, Israel has increased the amount of goods allowed into the Gaza Strip, as well as increased the area in the Mediterranean for Palestinian fishermen. And our final story takes us to Germany, where we bid a fond farewell and congratulations and thank you to outgoing German Chancellor Angela Merkel as she heads towards her retirement. She was awarded a prestigious prize for her advocacy against growing antisemitism and racism in politics, in society, and in culture, the very prestigious Buber Rosenzweig Prize, and we cannot think of a more worthy recipient. Chancellor Merkel has been a great friend to Israel and a great voice in trying to protect the German Jewish community and ensure that education against anti-Semitism, as well as the preservation of Holocaust Memorial, continues. And we thank her for all that she has done for Israel and the Jewish people, and wish the incoming Chancellor the best of luck. So those are your top stories making headlines today. If you are looking for more cool original content, check out our website. It looks like this. It is called layoftheland.online. So that's www.layoftheland.online. Online. You can read Fonda Dubb's wonderful article about teaching dancing to students and breaching the atrocious atrocious apartheid laws in South Africa at the time. I will have an article up later today on the Paralympics and the founding father, who happens to be an extraordinary man by the name of Sir Ludwig Gutmann. It'll be up there later. If you are watching us on Facebook and you haven't already liked us or followed us, please do so. And please share this video. We are trying to get past the censors, and nothing says be a great rebel than trying to get us past the censors. So please share this as far and wide as you can. If you are viewing us on our YouTube channel, The Israel Brief, you know what to do. Please like, share, and subscribe by clicking on the red subscribe button. And if you're on Twitter, please look for us at Lay of the Land 5, that's at Lay of the Land 5, and click on the follow button. So from a very, very hot Israel, I mean, it's supposed to be the first day of fall or autumn or whatever you want to call it. We call it Stav. I just call it very hot and humid. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and we'll check in with each other again tomorrow for your latest headlines.